Hey viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to Syria Being Hunted. So, episode 719, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can probably hear the landowners stomping off in the background. Back here, of course, on the centre island, our current map, we've only got the west and the north, actually, that we need to go to clear out some device pieces and all that. So we'll just sort of keep going as we are at present, ladies and gents. Now, I'm just thinking actually this will be the start of a recording session that I have today, because I've got the idea in mind of maybe recording a little bit of stuff. Thinking obviously a bit of Sir would be good in the immediate sort of, immediate term, because I do need to record at least one, maybe two episodes of it. I'm thinking about, maybe also doing a bit of Danganronpa-S, maybe also a bit of indie horror actually as well, because had the first, obviously, indie horror upload of 2025 not too long ago, as I'm going to record this, Cursed Digicam, latest Chiller's Art game and all that, which was pretty good. And I've been, tempted to do some more. Strike the iron while it's hot and all that, because I've got so many other indie horror games in my Steam library that I do need to get through. And apart from that, ones on, ones I've got listed from itch.io, places like that. I've talked about this before, so I won't really kind of go into too much detail there, ladies and gentlemen. But I hope you guys obviously are all doing well and all that. I think it's, is it North and West Islands we need to go to? It is. I'm going south. What am I doing? Well, I can go over this way then. Beeline across the island, get to where we actually need to be. So I hope you guys are all doing well. That you're enjoying yourselves and having a good time. That you're looking forward to some more great content in 2025. Playthrough of The Long Dark Wintermute has just started recently, as of when I upload this. And so far, it's been sort of interesting. I've, as of the moment I basically record this, I've got about the first 4 episodes pre-recorded and uploaded onto the channel queue, ready to go on their respective days when they're going to be released. I'll probably be recording maybe episode 5 and episode 6 fairly soon. First 4 episodes have been quite sort of slow paced, and at first I wasn't sure if I was quite enjoying it as much as I thought I would. Oh god, right, okay, that's a bloody problem. Let me just go through here, give them the old loop around. Ain't gonna see shit, guys. Does he still see me? No. Ooh. Fuck me, why are there so many hunters around? Well, I'm going this way then. God damn! I feel like every time you respawn onto the centre island, if you go towards the middle of it, you just end up with shit. You end up with shit. That's absolutely correct. That is indeed what I wanted to say. Oh, fuck me, there's a bloody scarecrow there as well. Right, we will get to the West Island at some point. You know what, actually, we should go to the north. Let's go in a completely different direction, ladies and gentlemen. Because screw all those guys. Now, what the hell was I talking about? I got completely distracted by the freaking robot shootout just then. I was talking about the Long Dark, wasn't I? Wintermute? Yeah. Like I say, playthrough started recently, and it's interesting because you're seeing those first few episodes, I mean, spoilers here. At first I don't really know what to make of it, because the game does kind of throw you in there at the deep end straight away. And I think part of the problem was that the first main objective you have to fulfill kind of ends up taking me a bit of a while, mainly because, partly because of my own fault, but also partly because the game has a certain crafting recipe that I feel should be fairly easy, but actually isn't in practice, which ends up kind of stymieing me for a wee while. This will be the east pier, that will. Need to go further on over this way. But you'll see. I have a feeling that from sort of episode 5 onwards, I might start to get a bit more out of it, potentially. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I'm enjoying it, just not as much as I thought I would. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shelve the series. I'm going to keep going with it. So those of you who are interested in seeing it, don't you worry. There's more of it going to be coming and all that, which is going to be good. Hopefully. I just basically want to unravel the story, in essence. And I'm just hoping that the other objectives don't take as long as the first objective took me to do in it. Otherwise, it could end up being a long-ass playthrough. But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, folks. I'm still interested and engaged enough to keep going with it. But no, that's not the main thing actually I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, what I was sort of thinking about lately, before I started recording this episode, is it's a bit of a political topic actually, but it's kind of been in the news a lot recently. Mainly sort of over in the US, I think, but also to an extent kind of here in the UK as well. Mainly because recently, I think it was the day before I started recording this episode, obviously I've been publishing some of my videos and then sharing them on my social medias, including on Twitter. And of course, sometimes I look at, as I said before, what's trending on Twitter and all that, just to stay abreast of things that are going on. Though increasingly, you have to be so careful, because usually what's trending will be incredible negativity. And so you end up doom scrolling, and you just feel like you're losing brain cells. But in essence, so I was looking yesterday at what was trending on Twitter, and basically one of the things that was trending was the word diversity. And yeah, I mean, as soon as I say that word, you probably know the sort of debates that are probably being held in the Twitter sphere and all that. And that certainly seems to be quite the hot topic in kind of a lot of media, I think, in like the US and also to an extent in the UK as well at the moment. Diversity, equality, inclusion and all that. And of course, it can be quite polarising in a lot of contemporary discourse and rhetoric, between those who see it as being something very vital, something that adds a lot of value to businesses, to agencies, to organisations, against those who, the sort of, people who think that it's a bit of a buzzword, and of course those who take that more to the extreme and use it as a way of railing against the idea of wokeness, things like that. And I think I've talked before about how I personally think the word woke these days is massively overused and has been extended way beyond its original definition to the point where it's basically meaningless now, because it basically can be used to mean whatever the hell you want it to mean, and therefore it has no conceptual utility anymore. And that's, putting aside whether or not I agree with some of the criticisms levied at it. And to be honest, whilst there is such a thing as, kind of ideas that some people class as woke, whilst there is such a thing as taking those ideas too far and taking them to kind of ridiculous proportions, I will concede that. I do find a lot of the criticisms of what people consider to be woke sometimes to be poorly informed or not very well thought through, to put it that way, but that's a whole other kettle of fish. But speaking of obviously like diversity, equality and inclusion, it got me sort of thinking about a Sean video that I saw recently here on YouTube. Probably know the channel, right? Sean, Shaun, who kind of does a lot of videos tackling a lot of debates around, wokeness and things like that, or woke topics, which people are all getting the knickers in a twist over. And he usually does so in quite a thoughtful and fairly, detailed manner that helps to just kind of elucidate really why sometimes these debates are utter nonsense, and why, quite often, a lot of the criticism of quote-unquote woke stuff is itself misguided, or in some cases just arguments made in downright bad faith, things like that. And I think one of the recent ones actually he uploaded was a video about a controversy around a game called Stellar Blade, which I'd never heard of Stellar Blade, I'll be honest, before I'd watched that Sean video. But apparently, basically, the controversy comes from the fact that in that game your player character is basically this very doll-like, let's say, very stylised female character. And of course, some of the outfits you can get for this character are kind of skimpy, let's put it that way, as you would imagine. And basically, a lot of, let's call them free speech warriors, quote unquote, i.e. the kind of people who are very critical of the woke, basically started to get their arms up in the air when the devs made some changes to some of these costumes that made them ever so slightly, and I really stress here, ever so slightly less revealing. The outfits in question are still very revealing, just ever so slightly less revealing than they were in earlier design phases. And of course, as you can imagine, a lot of people, in the Twitter sphere got their arms up about this. They got the knickers in a right twist over it. They're all like, oh, this is wokeness, this is censoring, this is censorship, it's ridiculous. They're censoring women's bodies, completely ignoring the fact that if you look at photos of the actual model, who the video game development firm behind Stellar Blade did the motion capture of, the actual human model and the in-game character don't look anything actually like one another, so it's not really censoring an actual woman's body at all when you get down to brass tacks. But the thing that really kind of got me in a lot of the criticism of Stellar Blade's devs was when people sort of made comparisons to Hades, another game that is very, very popular, a game that I think I do have in my Steam library and I'd love to play at some point because it looks really, really good. But basically Hades, obviously is based on Greek mythology. And admittedly, a lot of this criticism I think was driven by one person in particular. I forget his name though. Is it Mark something beginning with G? Basically, a game dev who apparently has been working on a game that's been stuck in a pre-alpha state for about 10 years or something, and who has been basically taking donations from people on the vague promise of, oh, well, we might implement something in the game later on. You need to watch the Sean video to get the detail of who I'm talking about here, because I'm ashamed to say I actually can't remember too well who it was. But basically, this person seems to have made it part of their career that they spend all their time on Twitter posting about how wokeness is ruining the game industry and all that. And one of their examples I believe they used was from Hades, where basically they were sort of accusing the devs of turning Aphrodite into a trans character, something like that, and were basically pulling up pictures of Aphrodite and saying, oh yeah, that's clearly not a female character, based on the most superficial physical characteristics, and it was ridiculous. And God, it was crazy, basically. It was mental. And it just got to the point of ridiculousness. And it is a great example of why sometimes anti-woke arguments are themselves utterly stupid when you really stop and think about them for more than a few seconds. But the one thing that really got me about a lot of the Hades discussion in particular around, these silly accusations about the character designs and things like that was when people on the anti-woke side started to say that, oh, this is just DEI in practice, taking jobs away from more talented people. And that kind of really struck a chord with me, because it made me think, what are you talking about? Hades, by all metrics, has been very successful as a video game. People are raving online about the artwork, the gameplay, the story. Everybody, for the most part, pretty much loves Hades. But what really got me was just that assertion that has been made about how DEI is taking jobs away from more talented people. Because whenever I hear that, I sort of sit there and I think, when you say more talented people, who are you referring to? Who specifically? And, are you saying that the people who are currently involved with games like that, are you saying they're not talented? Because all the metrics for measuring video game success, by all those metrics, they're actually very talented, because their product is actually landing quite well with the majority of consumers, it appears. So that was just my thoughts on it, and I think DEI is one of those subject areas that I think is so misunderstood and misconstrued in a lot of today's admittedly quite ridiculous political debates. Because the thing about DEI is, and I may have said this before, but you don't just, if you're a manager in an organisation or a company or something like that, you don't just do DEI for the sake of doing DEI, at least you shouldn't. You do it because there's something you want to get out of it. You do DEI because it can be enriching, you know, to have people within your organisation from different backgrounds, different groups, different sections of the community, right? Because the danger with not having DEI is that you end up with an organisation that's just made up of people from the same kind of background, who kind of think the same way, do things in the same way, etc., etc. And the danger there is one of eventual stagnation, that if that organisation one day faces a challenge or some kind of circumstances that the people within that organisation have never really encountered or thought about before, they will struggle with that. And so actually, does it not make more sense from the perspective of building resilience in organisations to actually diversify your workforce, diversify your personnel, in order to get lots of people with different areas of expertise, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds, etc., as that may potentially unlock all kinds of knowledge, whether that's cultural intelligence, emotional intelligence, different understandings of different demographics, people of different backgrounds, etc., that could actually benefit your organisation, in the sense of you find maybe there are new markets or audiences that your organisation could be appealing to, or maybe it helps you better understand other people's needs, other people's viewpoints, and in doing so maybe it makes your organisation a bit of a healthier, nicer place to work and all that. These basically are the kind of things that diversity can provide. Now obviously, if diversity is coming at the expense of people's jobs, things like that, then yeah, that's a problem. That can be an issue and that can cause resentment. Absolutely, of course it can. But the thing is, a lot of people say that it does this, but what's the evidence that it actually does indeed do that, Surely, there must be some evidence that it does actually cause that, and if so, what is that evidence, right? Oh, fucking hell! Why are there so many hunters around here? Kinda want that alarm clock to go off. Shit. Should have set that alarm clock to a lesser friggin' timer. It's still not gone off. Go over there. Hear the sound, buddy. Oh, for fuck's sake, he's not going to hear it at all. Because he's deaf, that's why. Ow! I just wasted my fucking equipment here. Oh, come on! That motherfucker stood right there, caused so many problems. Right, I'm out. I'm out of here. Oh. Actually, we've kind of distracted a couple of dudes. Maybe we'll loop around, get both of these. This is going to test my being hunted skills, but luckily it's only the one guy firing at me at the moment. You bitch. Stop. Go down. Out. No. No. Shit. Get down here. You didn't see shit, buddy. Oh god, it's a bad place to be. Ugh. Oh! I may die here. Crap, I've been way too fucking reckless with this. No. Oh shit, right. Go down. I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna go through the water. Ladies and gentlemen. Even though the friggin... Oh god, get out of there. Nope. Can't hit me. Ouch. Well, you can hit me. But... I'm gonna be out of here. Crap, before the CB shows up. Now this is really... Oh! They're still with me. They're still on me. I need to eat. Oh, fucking hell. How many of you are there? Seriously, go away. You guys. I'm nearly fucking dead. Oh god, I'm on a bloody peninsula. Headland over here. Alright, stay down here. They shouldn't be able to get me. Eat. Start recharging health immediately. Alright, keep moving. Okay, I think they may have lost interest. Oh, fucking hell. They're still looking around for me, and if the sea beast pops up near here, we are screwed. Ooh, that was playing dangerously, that was, ladies and gentlemen. can't see shit, guys. Don't even try it. I forgot I had a device scanner, even though it was literally right there in my inventory. Oh, I forgot I had this as well. Protect me talisman. Got 3 can pies. Revolver ammo, but no actual gun. Right, can you guys just go, please? You know, go screw yourselves. Get out of here. I was having a nice conversation about DEI until you friggin' showed up. Right, I think they're going. Yeah, they're off. There we go. Thank God for that. Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I just thought I'd give my thoughts. You know, thought it would make for an interesting topic and all that. Because now more than ever, when we see the sort of weird conversations that you have in the political sphere at present, now more than ever we need to exercise critical thought about some of the nonsense that gets said, things that get thrown around without real substantiation, that kind of thing. Yes. Red's got to get political every so often, hasn't he? I do find that. You know, game, don't friggin' lag out on me. I don't know if you just saw that then. Weird little lag spike and all that. Possibly something loaded. Maybe a bunch of robots spawned, who knows. Right, no, I was saying actually, you know, I probably wouldn't, you know, 10 years ago, when I was in my 20s, probably would never have talked about this kind of topic, because I would have wanted to avoid politics as a subject. Oh, let's kill each other. Ah, I'll take your shotgun, thank you. Eat your blackberries. Oh dear, raw meat. Oh, we don't have any batteries, but sure. Batteries? Matches, sorry. That's what I wanted to say. What do I have batteries on the mind? Where did that come from? I don't even know. Alright, god dang it, there's freaking riders and everything. Well, of course, we are quite late in the game. Now, as I was saying, 10 years ago, in my 20s, I wouldn't have wanted to talk about political topics. But I definitely find as I've gotten older, I've kind of got to that point in my life where, you know, I don't really give a shit anymore. Or increasingly, you know, I don't really give much of a shit. I just think, fuck it. If people want to know my sort of political views, I'll just say it. And if they don't like it, that's their problem. That's on them. They can go and deal with that. You'll probably find that yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Any sort of young'uns out there watching this. If you've not sort of yet kind of reached that phase in your life yet. You'll probably reach it at some point or other, you know, where you kind of just get to a point in life where you know, you think life's too short to worry what, you know, other people think. I'm just going to say it, say it as I see it. And if people, you know, get uppity about it, that's their problem. You know, if people want to have a civil conversation about it, that's fine, can do. It's all right and good by me. Yes, indeed. You know, speaking of critical thinking, I know I obviously did an episode talking about that a while ago. Kind of tempted to do another one, because definitely, you know, more detail I could go into about that. You know, talking about how to be a good debater, that kind of thing. How to argue and debate in good faith and whatever else have you. Do not come this way. What are you doing? Why are you hanging around the edge of the island anyway? I thought riders usually just pathed around the centre. Or, you know, along various routes that take them around the centre. Not sort of right along the bloody shoreline. How strange. Are you gone? Yes, you have. Alright, I'm off. I'm out of here. Really had to test my Serious Being Hunted skills this episode, haven't I? Do I have one set of bandages? I'll have to get some more. Oh, shit. Okay. Right, we're still ways off from the bloody jetty here, aren't we? Which is a bit of a problem. Well, don't you worry. Yeah, saying I could probably do another episode talking about critical thinking and all that. Because what I could talk about, you know, like I say, is how to sort of be a good debater. How to debate in good faith. Fallacies and things to watch out for in discussions, particularly in political conversations and discourse. That'd probably be interesting, right? I sometimes find that people do enjoy it when I talk about, you know, that kind of subject. At least past experience feels like people do. You know, when I did, for example, my topic that I once talked about history and presentism and things like that. That was an interesting one. I think people engage with that. Other stuff obviously about intergenerational bickering. That was another one that seemed to get a bit of viewer engagement. People seem to enjoy engaging with me on that topic. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I could always actually start recording another episode straight after this one, which would probably be good, actually. I may do that, ladies and gentlemen. Make that a topic of conversation for when we go down to the West Island and start clearing device pieces off that one. In the meantime, let's just get ourselves back to this jetty over here. And then we'll probably wrap the episode up. Here we are, long last. Yes, we're definitely reaching that point of the game here where the amount of hunters spawning is proving to be a little bit of an issue. But what can you do? That's just the challenge of the game, ladies and gents. And when you're like me and you feel like you're a Serious Being Hunted pro, you get very cocky and complacent. And you end up running around and getting yourself nearly screwed over. And in some cases absolutely screwed over. Okay, here we go, save progress. In that case, we will wrap this episode up here, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's been a decent little sedate one, folks. Apart from the bit where obviously I was being shot at by all the robots, that wasn't so sedate. Social media links, propagandist channel link, etc, all down in the video description for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed, a like is of course always appreciated. But I'll see you next time, where we'll talk a bit more about critical thinking, I think. Goodbye, everybody. Go straight ahead. Look at that there. Why is it a bit like we've gone into an ancient city? Or is this some freaking Lovecraftian city now? You know what? Let's go towards the thing in the middle where the lights are. Let's see what the deal is with that. How very strange. Oh well, into the water we go. Shallow so we can still sprint. You know, thinking of that architecture in that area just a moment ago, made me think of sort of Middle East.